It's a big question, and as you were answering, Secretary Gadon, I was thinking about, again, I go back to my time as mayor, and you know, in our budget in the city of Boston, I think 40% of our budget goes into schools. I have a $3.4 billion budget in the city of Boston, and you know, I made over my 7 years a couple $100 million investment in our schools. We're trying to get nurses in every school, trying to be full wraparound, and I think that we really have to do, we have to be really focused and intentional about what we do as governments here. When I think about the perch I'm sitting in today as Secretary of Labor, you know, I get asked questions about, you know, worker shortage. What do we do about worker shortages? What do we do about the 700,000 cybersecurity jobs we need to fill in the next 5 years? What do we do about all the administrative jobs? What do we do with all the technology? Those workers are in our schools today. Those workers are in our schools today, and if we don't start focusing on those workers in our schools today, but making those investments with wraparound services, we have to be more intentional about wraparound services. A lot of our kids that are in our urban districts, that they're struggling with mental health, they're struggling with violence in the neighborhoods, they're struggling with a lot. We have to do so much more. We have to focus on the diversity pipeline for teaching. We need to get more teachers of color, more Black and Latino teachers in our districts, in urban America. And the Secretary is 1,000% correct. Like, we can't do what we did for the last 100 years. We have to do something completely different. And many of you in this room, you know, I know who you are, and the ones I don't know, I know you're innovators. You came up with your programs because you wanted to close achievement gaps, you wanted to do a lot. You came up with, you've been doing this your life work. So what we need to do is keep having a conversation with you in this room on how do we, if you could reconfigure the whole system, what it would be, because that's where we are today. We tried it with the charter school movement. It worked to some degree in certain parts of the country. It didn't work across the country. I'm a founding member of a charter school in Boston, Neighborhood House, and I'm still supportive of that school. But we tried to do that other system. You know, it turned into a competing system. Let's think about education as a whole, and what do we do? You have a president that believes in you. You have a secretary of education that believes in you, and I think we've made some good improvements. You talked about, I'll end with this. I think one of the big investments too that we've made in the infrastructure bill is $52 billion into broadband access across the country, rural America, and everywhere. The challenge to you is, how do we make sure every kid in every district in every school in America has access to that broadband once that broadband cable gets laid down? How do we make sure they can take advantage of that?
Well, I believe that